Hello and welcome to another episode of the Unmatchedstyle Design Review Podcast. I'm Gene.
I'm Jay.
And we're going to take a look at two sites today. The first we're going to look at is crushlovely.com, and the second is the Omni Group's new website. Let's start off with Crush Lovely.
Yeah.
This is the web design firm. I believe Gina Bolton and Megan Fisher work at this company, among other people. But those are two people that I personally follow on the internet. You know, they're sort of thought leaders. You want to use that term.
They're
so,
good designers.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to take a look at their site here.
Yeah. I think first of all, this has got a really nice feel. Like when you first get there, it's got this nice kind of noisy texture. You kind of see that a lot, but it's really well done here.
Yes.
You know, kind of these some CSS3 techniques. You know, drop shadow and text shadow and the transparency and stuff. It has keyboard navigation, so it's got lots of little things that are.
Yeah, and it's one of those single-page JavaScript type websites.
Yeah, that you're seeing that adds a nice level of depth.
Yeah.
And it's really cool. I really like how when you go to each page, there's this one little, like 1 pixel line up here at the top of each page.
Yeah.
That separates it. And so when it goes up next to that browser, it creates this nice little like sharpness. It's like a super subtle detail.
And they're clearly different pages. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just using this technique to let you navigate through the different sections.
Yeah, and you can still,
I like that.
Scroll up and down.
Yeah.
But it's
clearly demarks which page you're on.
Yeah, and all this is, you know, all this transparency and stuff. It's really.
There's lots of nice little
really
detail
cool.
here and there with the illustrations and little nooks and crannies and things.
Yeah,
and the left and right keyboard navigation thing is pretty cool too.
Yeah, and the one thing, you know, this logo, I think it's a cool logo mark kind of thing. Yeah, I think when you get to the site and you're maybe not familiar with this company, not having the name of the company actually spelled out.
Yeah, you pointed that out earlier.
It could be confusing to somebody if you're not familiar with this company.
Yeah, the only place you see it is in the domain itself, maybe the tab.
Right.
And nowhere on the page does it say Crush Lovely. I'm sure it's in here somewhere, but it's pretty big website.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, but it doesn't really matter on some level because it's good work.
Right.
It's a beautiful site.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's also cool that you know, we're seeing so many sites these days that are starting to use font face. A lot of them are using Typekit, you know, and Kufon or whatever. Right. I think it's really cool that we're Helvetica in Georgia, and you know, it loads super fast. You don't worry about anything.
Right.
And they're both just great. You know, of the website fonts available,
they're the best.
They're the two best. You know.
Yeah, and, that is really cool to see somebody like. I'm totally happy with Helvetica in Georgia.
I kind of wonder if it's a statement on like how fast the internet goes. Is there already a backlash against this? They're not even accepted yet. But
we're not even using it yet. Yet we're doing it wrong.
Right. So I mean, but it kind of shows you that, you know, those things like font face and Typekit, they're not going to make necessarily. They're not necessary to make a great design.
Absolutely not.
You know.
Helvetica is a beautiful typeface. Yeah. I mean, Georgia, I think it's a beautiful typeface. It does amaze me sometimes how people can sort of rebel against Helvetica.
I mean,
or Georgia.
We don't know what the motive behind this is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's just like they just want to make a nice site, you know.
And it looks nice.
Right.
You know.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So let's take a look at the other one here in our queue, the Omni Group's website. This, I don't know when this launched, like this week or something. I found it in a couple of blog posts. But the company Blue Flavor put this site together for the Omni Group, and there's several blog posts about it. And in fact, by the time you see this podcast, there's probably a post on unmatchedstyle about it. But let's sort of look through this one a little bit.
I'm going to load again to see if it
it changes the main image there. I really love that. You know, it's like a lot of sites use that big image. This is a nice mixture of like Omni's icons for their apps, and then some really neat looking little illustrations things to pull the two together.
They're really cool. I kind of wonder. I see these. I feel like I want these things to go outside of these boxes almost. You know. Yeah. I think it totally works as it is.
Yeah.
But there's all this movement. It's like it'd be.
Yeah, the grid's so, you know, it's like a tight grid there. You know, it'd be nice to kind of.
I mean, that's just a design decision. It's not like right or wrong.
Right. I really like that big image parallel with the other section. You know, it's like a JavaScript thing where you can look at the different products, but you can just go product. You know, because that's really what this is a software product company.
Right.
And so you can just go straight to those sections.
Yeah, I think it's really cool. You got two things going on. You have this kind of blue outline kind of thing, and then the kind of the design layer on top of that. And that it says a lot to what their company does. There's a lot of
That's right.
like wireframing, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, the to-do list.
Yeah. So I think it's really well done. And then the lightness really lets these elements really pop out.
Yeah, I agree.
It's really well done, and it's just the layout. It's really nothing unorthodox at all.
Right.
But it's just really solid.
Yeah, and one of the things that I liked about this, although we were just talking about this, that from my designer eye, I think that the type is maybe like one smidge too big, or the spacing might be just for me.
Yeah,
but what I really love is that they're using just simple font size to show hierarchy. From left to right, like in this bottom section here too. It's like important, almost important, and not so important almost. I really dig that. They're not using like colors or fancy typeface or anything like that. It's just simply size.
Yeah, there's
and the whole site does that.
Right. There's no images. There's no little arrows.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it works. I do feel like this is with the font size plus
it's a bit big.
plus the line height. I think it could be either a little more line height or just like bump it down a notch.
Yeah.
But still have it be larger than these. That's just
right. Let's check out a subpage real
Sure.
quick.
Which one?
Whatever, product page,
Sure.
anything. One of the actual product pages. Like click on Omni Grapple.
Okay.
Like this is a lot of the subpages follow sort of the same pattern, and I really like this. First off, I really like that breadcrumb. It's the way that looks. It's nice and simple. It's large enough. I can clearly find that, and these elements on the mouse overs and stuff. They're just nice. They're real simple, but the page I'm on is a darker blue than the next one's, and it's like a lighter blue, and like even as you go down the page, the way this is gridded out, and the images are like, it's like when you look through the site, I really feel like on a lot of like software development sites and things, the images they use are just like, they feel random, like just a random shot of someone using the thing. These images are like tightly cropped and picked, and they're like almost really precise to the content.
Right.
That's how it should be.
They're demonstrating the content.
Yeah, that's how it should be.
Yeah. I think and it's got a just like ever so slightly enough of that Apple kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Just ever so
just a little bit,
just a smidge.
Right.
But not to where it's kind of annoying.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good.
Yep. All right. Well, that's it for this week.